We're going to start it on this note.
There's a
burning question.
A great debate
this
going on.
This is probably
right
why
now.
we're all going to die Wednesday, is how you answer this question.
Yes, the poll is up, ladies and gentlemen, and I know you're looking at these two handsome faces on your screen. And the question of the day, and it's a big debate right now going on in the Hudson Valley Prepping and Survival Facebook group. So I figured I would bring the debate to the floor here this evening on a We All Gonna Die Wednesday. Which one of these gentlemen is better looking? I needs to know.
I needs to know.
We're
going to show you again. If you need to see it again, but I hope...
Yeah, y'all just let me know. Because, there's only a handful of people here right now. YouTube doesn't exactly... no, you don't have to. I
didn't want to do that. I just wanted to see the whole thing.
Yeah. Just click on it, and it shall pop up for you.
Wow, yeah. And we got. It looks like, oh boy.
Oh man, Outlaw Jackson out to a commanding lead right now.
Now, just to be clear, I mean.
Yeah.
I'm going to show this. I'm going to insert us into the screen here. Give me 1 second.
Okay.
Keep talking to him.
Well, this is fantastic. How's everybody doing tonight? Welcome to the We All Gonna Die Wednesday. This is it, baby. We're right on time. This is chapter 32. And we're just trying to see.
Okay,
it's the great debate. It's the great debate. The Livingston man side is Team Hunter. And Mike's side is Team Outlaw Jackson.
So let's get those votes in. I mean, now who's better looking here?
I am abstaining from voting. I'll tell you that right now. I am not going to vote. They're both my friends. They're both strappingly handsome gentlemen, and right, so I'm gonna leave it at that.
We're gonna let this vote play out over the course of the live stream here, but we'll be back with
some more
updates on the election night.
That's it. Who is the fair prince of Hudson Valley Prepping and Survival?
Whoever loses can cause a resurrection or whatever they did there.
Old Mutt is in the house. # Old Mutt's kids. Old Mutt's kids, we getting together this weekend.
Hashtag it.
Yeah, # Old Mutt's kids. We all getting together this weekend. Bug out bag weekend. Hudson Valley Prepping and Survival style. And apparently, we all gonna have to bring our rain gear because it's gonna be a wet and wild one.
Cool, like a lot of rain too, like steady driving. If they're right, that's what we're looking at.
You never know. You never know what you're gonna get anymore. The weatherman he's off his rocker. So
professional liars.
Best to bring your rain gear and prepare for a wet and wild time. It will make fire starting interesting. Although we are sponsored by Mickwick Fire Starters, and those things work rain or shine. They work.
Tested, proven. You did one in a hurricane.
Hurricane Henri. Hurricane Henri.
Who, by nature of his name, I was absolutely not afraid of.
Listen,
you got to do better. Like, can we give him, like, I don't know, strong, hard-ass name? Like, I want, like, Hurricane Death Storm, like, 23. I'm like, okay, that's some shit I got to respect. I don't want Henri. You show up talking about Henri. Like, that's funny. Yeah. Why you so Henri, bro?
Well, he was a little grumpy.
I guess.
I wasn't too awful bad. Smokey says, which one drinks Bud Light? I'm gonna go with neither.
I tried one the other night there. If anybody was here for that, I'm not. Listen, Lord. I wasn't even acting or nothing.
That's what killed the Totalitarian Tuesdays. He had the Bud Light, and then that was it. Game over, man.
Something changed in me.
Yeah, killed it. Took it right off the map. But I hope everybody's doing well on this We All Gonna Die Wednesday. I know you're checking your YouTube feed, everybody telling you how you gonna die this Wednesday, right? So, Livingston, man, what is the first thing that we have on tap that's gonna kill us this Wednesday?
Was it this one?
Oh, yeah. Well, this could have potentially have killed us. Praise be that it did not happen, and we're not all dead. We're not all dead.
And it's lucky for us now. Of course, now you know this guy, old familiar face there, isn't he?
Yeah.
Our good buddy of Volodymyr Zelensky.
So apparently, Mr. Volodymyr Zelensky had planned a massive attack on Moscow, and he had to be talked down from this. So this article goes on to explain that all of the alphabet boys and everybody got together with Mr. Zelensky. And I don't know.
That's why when we go scrolling through these websites and you never know what you're going to come across.
It's true.
The hell was that? What context was
that? The Daily Star. Well,
figures.
But apparently, this was back in February. So they were supposed to launch strikes against Moscow, and they were talked out, and it didn't happen. They said if they would have launched these strikes, it would have caused World War III. Livingston, man, I need your thoughts on that particular statement.
Well, I think the basic truth of it, because right here, so once the news of the planned attacks reached Washington, the CIA warned President Zelensky that a strike on Russia's capital could trigger a direct conflict between America and Russia. Mm-hmm. Now, this implies, and in my opinion, proves that American hardware that is capable of reaching beyond the borders, distances that was so-called agreed upon. The whole deal was on, we're not giving them long-range strike weapons. Here we see that Ukraine is apparently confident that it can indeed.
So they actually do have some long-range weapons, but they're not ours. These are old Russian weapons. Section 3 survival. Welcome, my brother.
So, everybody gave out Ukraine like everything. So who knows what they have and stuff at this point. But the fact that this was a genuine concern and they were like, don't do that, implies that American hardware is involved. Why would it cause a direct conflict between America and Russia? But that either these weapons were from America or would be perceived as such.
Very interesting. So...
But the whole deal was that we're not giving them long range strike capability.
Right. It was defensive capability and like the Iron Dome-ish type stuff, right, Patriot missiles and things like that. Now, Patriot missiles can be used for a lot more than just interception. You can use those offensively as well. Livingston, man, could you do us a favor and look up the range on those Patriots?
Let's get on a watch list.
I think it's a few hundred miles at least.
Patriot missile?
Yeah, the Patriot missile. Patriot missile. Range. If you keep scrolling down.
Well, what's funny is that it may not exactly. Just go ahead and
they don't always disclose this stuff. Sometimes you get outdated information.
Wingspan, propellant, flight altitude,
range.
speed.
There you go. 160 kilometers on the PAC-2, 30 kilometers on a PAC-3 that they use against ballistic missiles.
Maximum range of any of them is about 100 miles.
Yeah, so they're not super far, but you could use them offensively if you needed to.
Not their designed role, but the Ukrainians have
they've been using everything, man. Everything.
Not for its design role. I mean, the stuff that they have figured out how to do with drones alone is going to change a lot of shit.
Yeah.
They talk about, I don't know what generation, but I think 4th or 5th is what's being fought over there with this high tech versus, like Eastern Front barbaric warfare on one hand, but fought with like high tech ass stuff.
Cameras, lots of cameras. He who has the most eyes in the battlefield and sees the enemy before they see him tends to win, especially in those exchanges. Some of the videos that I've seen come through Instagram and things like that.
This poll is total bullshit. Can I vote? I can't vote. Fuck. No, because I would. Because I feel like, we don't know that
abstained.
Hunter is not going to come from behind at like 2 a.m. with the most votes in American history. I mean, we don't know that yet. We're going to let it play out. You guys, if you haven't voted in the poll, please do. If you're just showing up. And if you did just show up, unfortunately, I'm going to show this again.
Yeah, we're looking for Team Mike.
I am Hunter
Outlaw Jackson.
Hunter 25 on what I think is your left.
Yep, Outlaw Jackson over here. Yes.
But yeah, this Ukraine thing is, they're really pushing the boundaries in the same way that America's war in Afghanistan and Iraq really pushed forward. Remember that TV show, Tactical to Practical?
Yeah.
A lot of our civilian breakthroughs and things that make our lives easier, GPS being a glaring example, or military secret stuff.
That they finally, let on to the public. How many years do you think they were using GPS before they allowed it to the public, right?
Well, it was a big, Gulf War was 91.
Yeah.
All right. And that was when it was kind of rolled out to the public, at least, where they showed it on the news and us using it to devastating effect.
Yeah, big time. The targeting, satellites.
Even land nav and stuff like this, like entire tank formations were able to like all be controlled and go away and like told what to do, and it's groundbreaking. Now what they're doing over there is this cross between, like I said, like your typical like barbaric like Russian steppe warfare. These guys they just fight like this, from time to time. But with this high tech, you have like Western, and Russia is kind of getting its ass kicked on this front, is in the high techness. I don't think that either one of them can really win this.
I wonder if it's not more evenly matched than we know, and because of the blocks that they have set up through the internet, we're just not seeing what they're seeing the way we see the Ukraine stuff.
Of course, and that you should absolutely consider that. This isn't a whether you stand with Ukraine or Russia. You don't have to stand with either one.
Right.
But as an American citizen, and
what we see,
we live inside of a bubble, and we're shown what they want us to see, and that's a fact.
Yeah, absolutely. We're fed a steady stream of propaganda 24/7, 365. That's really not an opinion. That's kind of just what it is. I would say that that's damn near a fact anymore. That majority of what we're fed is propaganda, whether it be left-wing propaganda or right-wing propaganda. I think it's all just propaganda, Livingston, man. I really, really do.
Now, for purposes of this poll, all right. The implication here is not that either one of us is particularly for a candidate. It was just a way to give you guys a reference as to which one you were voting for.
That's right. That's right.
Don't associate me with Hunter. Don't associate Jackson with Mike. Okay, so if that can skew the poll at all, you're not voting for either of us.
That's correct. That's correct. We have no being in this. No being.
I want this to be fair. I wish I could vote in this because I got an opinion. I even said it. I was like,
man.
Well, he's a handsome boy, isn't he?
SRD in the house. What's happening, my brother? How are you?
So we all gonna die Wednesday. In terms
Indeed.
of prepping, threats to our survival and existence, you hear a lot of that in the news. Like a lot of countries justify war, oppression, laws, invasions of privacy on the pretext of our right to exist, our existence, a threat to our existence, our democracy.
The threat to democracy.
Though this Ukraine thing may feel as though it's a faraway thing, it, as shown, like apparently whatever Ukraine was going to do, they were going to hit like Moscow with missiles.
Yeah.
Moscow
launch on the capital, man. Crazy.
It was thought that Moscow would immediately interpret this as American funded,
Oh yeah. At least.
And it would cause
satellite guided,
and
right?
could cause us as American citizens a problem, even though it's like not our fight at all. So this is what we're up against every day in this geopolitics. And this Ukraine thing has done another thing, is emboldened what we're told are like rogue leaders, guys who won't play by the rules, right? Kim Jong-un, Xi Jinping, and Vladimir Putin.
Yeah.
Because, and what they see is that Putin gets to sort of do what he wants to do over there.
Yeah.
They're defensively like trying to like make it hard for him. Nobody's actively stopping him. 70 years ago, World War II, before the advent of nuclear weapons, people would have been like marching to the cause, just lining up to join the Army, the Navy, the Marines, to go fight the aggressor. Let's like win this thing for freedom and what. But now, because Putin straight up is like, I'll shoot you with nukes, and they're like, fuck, we got to.
The nuclear saber rattling is intense anymore, isn't it?
So anybody that has nukes, the United States included, and I'm not saying that we don't act like this too, but
it's true. It's true.
Anybody that has nukes is like, shit, you can just act like this because what are they going to do? And that really is the question, is what are you going to do? Yeah. And anybody that doesn't has nukes sees this and you're like, I got to get nukes. Then they won't fuck with me no more.
So it's definitely, this whole thing is fueling the nuclear arms race without a doubt. TT1 in the house, prepared Irishman. What's happening, fellas? How are you?
Building a successful nuke gets you in the club, whether everybody else in the club likes it or not. All of a sudden, you're now
you're a viable threat to anybody.
Unfuckwithable. Because all you got to do is be like, I'll drop it.
Yeah.
I'll drop it.
Yeah.
And everybody's like, oh, okay,
it's so the North Korean. They've been launching a lot of stuff. a lot of stuff. They're testing.
They're working on
all
it.
kinds of new technology, new guidance systems. And, you know, I think that they're really in on this whole Russia-China BRICS thing inadvertently. I think they're going to make sure that North Korea eats, so to speak. But they are the wild card in all this because they keep launching, and nobody knows when they launch these things whether they're hot or not. You know, there's quite a few times that they think these things are going to land in Japan, so they send out the message, everybody take cover, missiles inbound. That's really got to like eat at your nerves, man, like big time. Could you imagine getting constant, you know, every couple of weeks, every couple of months, you get the emergency alert on your phone, seek cover now. And it just keeps happening over and over again. So what can we do about it? What can we do about it? The only thing that
Nothing
we
you can do.
Well, there is. Because you fight fire
protest the
with
fucking
no. You fight the fire with fire, right?
Go ahead.
That's
Go ahead, Mr. Wizard. What's the next move?
We do it. You take your nuclear-armed submarines and you park them right off of their coast.
I thought you meant like I was going to say.
No.
And then you just go ahead and do something like this.
Yeah, you just send the nuclear subs to South Korean ports, right? Say, hey, you guys want to keep launching missiles? We got some missiles, so we're going to park them right here.
This isn't the first time, apparently, we've done this. The United States will deploy nuclear-armed submarines to South Korea for the first time in decades, part of a new agreement that will signal Washington's commitment to defend Seoul against rising nuclear threats from North Korea, U.S. officials said. It hasn't happened since the 1980s. Headlines and efforts to make U.S. deterrence against Kim Jong-un's regime more visible, according to senior administration officials. These are weasel words.
Yeah.
U.S. officials said, anonymous sources, people.
Love it.
My favorite, people familiar with the president's thinking said. That was a big one in the Trump.
You know, I gotta tell you, man, I don't think anybody is familiar with the way that Joe Biden's thinking.
And that was a big one in the Trump. I remember all this steady like stream of leaks coming out of the White House and every government orifice when Trump was president. It was all with BS like that.
Yeah.
A guy who has seen him in public once thought this, and you're like, presented as a credible source.
I used to listen to him talk all the time.
Some homeless guy says Trump is a douche. Here's why he's right.
I just really think that this is the way
mainstream media. Everybody,
he's just gonna go with it.
Listen, you're gonna get more of the truth out of me and Mike.
The prepping mantis, unfortunately, yeah, I think a lot of people do. I think a lot of people have faith in Joe Biden.
Listen, imagine Joe Biden at the head of the troop. Just shoot him through the door.
Yeah. All you need is the 12 gauge, right? Let both barrels go, right? That's the old Joe Biden. The old Joe Biden.
The thing.
You know
the thing. You know the thing.
Every day, it seems like we inch a little closer to the edge. Right?
That wasn't even BS on his part. When he was like stuttering and stammering, and we're all like, say it. And he's like, the thing. We knew the thing.
Yeah, we just needed you to say it.
I didn't need him to say it.
That's all.
To be honest, listen, I knew the thing. We all knew the thing. He was like, the thing. I was like, I know the thing. Fuck.
Yeah, the thing.
But then everybody got big mad. He doesn't know the thing. He knew the thing, and so did you.
Yeah, but he just couldn't,
Actually.
Yeah. It's all going to shit, folks. Get your preps in order.
You got to look at both sides.
That's for sure.
Listen, Joe Biden is like 156 years old.
Yeah, he's going to run again. He just announced that he's going to do it. He's going to do it. So, how many hats have been thrown into the ring so far? I mean, I run out of fingers and toes, Livingston, man. Everybody's running, right? Everybody's running for president 2024. Everybody. And they're talking about no debates. How are you going to have 56 people running for president and no debates? How's that going to happen? Mr. B Local, what's happening, my brother?
You know what that is? That's New York, like Nancy Pelosi politics. Like, you got to pass it to see what's in it.
It's bullshit. It's bullshit. We all know it's bullshit.
You want to know what the candidate stands for and what they're going to do? Vote him in. Like, what? This is not a casino. Yeah, I mean, this is out of control. And though I would never advocate for anything like a resurrection or whatever they called it.
Pagan Prepper, yes, I can see your comments.
I really think that I don't know how else to rebel against the current like system of like how we elect our so-called leaders, but to boycott the vote. But then they would just make it up even worse than they already do. So people are like, your vote counts. I'm like, no, don't.
Ooh, Hunter says scenario, fake assassination attempt, election suspended, and martial law in place. It's going to happen on a Wednesday. No doubt.
And
no doubt.
You know who they going to blame for it.
Micro Wolf says, Mike for president, Mike for president. Hey.
Now they on you for president?
I'll throw my hat in the ring. Let's do it.
I'll start a new fucking poll right now.
Let's do it.
Fuck
you can't. You already have your poll.
You know what? I got to let this
You have your poll. Yeah. Yeah, right. No, it's important.
One in the chat. One in the chat. 1, Mike for president. 2, Livingston Man for president.
Oh.
Now it's a 2-way fight.
You
don't get to do that.
Yeah,
no, we can't. You can't vote for yourself.
No, go ahead. Hit the button.
What button?
Click it. Yeah. There you go.
I'll take it.
Livingston Man.
I'll eat the shit.
Livingston Man all the way. Yep.
But
he's smarter than me.
So these guys are over here. They're gonna put the nuclear subs off the coast of South Korea. Excuse me.
Yeah.
They're already there.
They're under the water all the time. They're always in there. Always in there.
Fun thing about the submarine arm of our nuclear triad. There's 3 of them. There's the ICBM force.
Yeah, that would be your land-based, right?
In essence, and perhaps tactical nuclear weapons launched from something like HIMARS. Those missile trucks. Okay, then you got the submarines, the SLBMs, submarine-launched ballistic missiles.
Yep.
And then you got the Air Force component, B-52 bombers and B-1 Lancers, B-2 Spirit bombers.
And the ones that we don't know about.
The B-1 and the B-2, there's potentially like a B-3 like involved, but we don't have them yet.
We don't talk about those.
But all of these components come together to form what they call a triad. You cannot defeat all 3 of them at once. There's always a second strike capability. Now, a modern nuclear nation has these. China has it. Britain probably has it. China probably has it. Russia certainly has it. But everybody else after that, like they got like 1 or 2 like truck launched like homemade it's like backyard rocket nukes, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then there's like shit like the United States got where they're like, we'll fly a bomber right up your ass.
China's been building, man. China's been building.
And should be looked at. They have so much money.
They're building giant nuclear fields. They want to, put as many missiles out there as they possibly can.
We have those too.
Mad Chad in the house. What's happening, my brother? How are you?
I stopped paying attention to the poll. I don't think.
Pagan Prepper says, I think y'all make a good team. Just pick who wants to be president. Hey, president and vice president. There we
could do the tandemocracy, like Putin
and then we'll just switch. Yeah.
Putin and
Medvedev.
Dmitry
Medvedev. Don't forget the B-52 still going strong. Yeah, man, those things are workhorses.
They want to, they're like the A-10. They want to phase them out, but just nothing better has come along. Quintessential with so many of them too, and their payload is unbelievable. One of those planes could just like
carpet bomb a whole city.
Eat just shitting on them like a pigeon. Like diarrhea.
Let her rip.
Nuclear diarrhea. Okay.
Oh man. Yeah, take turns. We'll just switch back and forth. President, vice president.
That's a tandemocracy, they call that.
Yeah,
you could make it work.
Everybody could do it.
Well, if y'all need
I've
that.
I've said it before, and I'll say it again. I think the most honest way to elect politicians is to select them from the population. If you're born as a U.S. citizen, you get a social security number, right? So let's have a lottery. Draw random numbers until it looks like social security number. Congratulations to that person. You're now in Congress. And then on we go. And every 3 years, we redo everybody. That way nobody can get too filthy, too corrupt, too powerful. And it's really of the people, by the people. right? Average Joes.
My favorite guy, I think I really hope I get this right, but I'm pretty sure it was Calvin Coolidge. This dude was a very interesting American president. At the time, it was legal to run for like 3 terms. Is how FDR did.
Okay.
They were like, "You're gonna run for a 3rd time. You're gonna do it again. You're gonna do it again." And he was like, "I've been here too long already."
Yeah, time to go.
So he could have run for another term, and he was like, "No, I came to do what I did, and I did it, and now it's time to get out of here." There is absolutely none of that.
No. They
Right,
want to be
left,
there forever.
Right, center, or left, there is none of that.
No.
It's career
it's
shit.
Power. It's
Grow
power.
old there.
Political
Half
power.
these people or more ought to be in a nursing home, but instead it's called Congress, and they got it's like a high power. Like, no, come on, you got the Uncle Fester from fucking Pennsylvania there. I gets selected, and then he's like, "Oh, I got depression." It just chills in a fucking mental ward. I am not shaming mental illness, but I
it's
am
obviously
suggesting
they didn't elect the most fit person for the job.
That's what I'm saying. And then you got a Feinstein at 113 fucking years
She
old.
don't want to give it
They're
up.
like, quit.
Man.
They're like, quit. She's like, no. And they like, I don't know, can't make her and won't. It's like, I can't with this old ass, but they said no more white men. I was like, actually, maybe let's do that. And then they elected the oldest, whitest man.
Yeah, I could possibly ever find. Yeah. And he's like the biggest liar, the biggest plagiarist, the biggest
just makes shit up.
Dirtbag.
He just makes it up. I was a conductor on a train, Jack. I beat corn pop to death with a chain. Like, no, what the fuck is this guy talking about? And they got to constantly run damage. You didn't mean what he said.
His rocker.
You know the thing. And you're like, bro, this is not how we do this. Another thing I want to point out about this poll here.
Oh, we're back to the poll.
Yeah, because, okay, so when it says like left and right, that literally means the orientation of their picture, not their political view or anything. I just want to make sure everyone's transparent here. Like, because everybody's voting for Jackson's ugly ass because they think he's a fucking right wing guy. That's all. They hating on my man because they think he's the left.
Mad Chad says, make sure you're president on Wednesday. That's right. It'd be inauguration day. It's going to be a Wednesday. And Outlaw says we can address the nation every Wednesday night and tell everybody how they gonna die.
Just like this. Like, yo, fireside
like I'm
chat.
already doing.
Fireside chat. The city's burning behind us. Like, this is a sign of progress.
Progress.
The people have spoken. Let them eat cake.
Oh, man.
You know, guys think, listen, you don't want me as the president. This is like good cop, bad cop shit. Like, what they protested against me, raised the price of gas. Fuck them.
Just looking at the way everything is going, the trajectory of things. I buy more.
It's a
I buy more
trend.
freeze-dried food. I just buy more. Livingston man about shit himself when he saw the peak refuel delivery. The truck backed up and the UPS man like grabbed his forklift.
I was like, they sent you that?
The hand truck, bro. Yeah, just drop it right off at the front door. Go figure. If Mike and Livingston man are in office, can we get an Asian to fix the deficit? I heard they're good in math, says man Marco.
As president and or vice president.
That's racist.
Well, see, I would do this thing that's completely unheard of, where I would just hire people who were good at the job and not really care about what they looked like or who they slept with or who they voted
man.
for.
You got to send a team of...
You good at the job and you want to do it?
Of accountants into...
Rock and roll, baby.
Into the IRS and into all those things. And the Federal Reserve... I remember when Rand Paul was like, we got to audit the Fed. We got to audit the Fed. We got to see where this money's going, where it's coming from. And I think it was Janet Yellen, who is now the Fed chair at the time, was the Fed chair back then, and she, said, that's not something you want to do. You don't want to audit the Fed. That's just
too big to fail.
It's just not something you want to do, man.
What would happen? We are shown blatant, egregious corruption and every day, and everybody's like, I mean, it's a real question. It always boils down to what were you going to do about it? Edward Snowden was like, yo, they're spying on you. What are you going to do about it? You can buy a new iPhone. That's true. Joe Biden is like doing business with China and Ukraine and Russia. Everybody's like, what can you do?
The gas prices are high. Buy an electric car.
And this ain't a sermon.
POTB in the house. What's happening, my brother?
It's not even a sermon. It is an honest question. What even can you do? Face with us, because the power structure here is so enormous.
Yeah, man.
And though it seems fragile, it's still very heavy.
Yeah.
Its own weight can support it.
And see, the thing is, it's so heavy that when it starts to crumble, it's just going to come crashing down on itself, right? We talked in the past about the Ukrainian money furnace, right? Where we're burning up all of those excess dollars that are coming home because of the BRICS things and whatnot. I would expect to see another big dollar dump very, very soon into Ukraine. Huge money, whether it's equipment or whatever it is, they'll just spend that money on the equipment to replace the equipment. It's a money furnace right now, and I really think it's the only thing keeping us afloat. And I think that was part of the reason why Xi Jinping went and had the phone call with Zelensky today. When China is starting to meddle in
How'd
this,
that go? I mean, can I just,
so
you
I
want to
think-
get banned right now?
Hello,
Hello, Zelensky. How are you?
So this,
Very good, thank you.
once he can give them the money that they want,
You want
And
to
it
buy more
doesn't have
drones?
to-
You want to buy more drones?
it doesn't have to come from us. That's when the hyperinflation is going to start. Once China starts pumping their money into Ukraine, that's when our financial system really starts to unwind itself.
We have
So keep an eye out for that.
America has shifted from a nation of like producers to, quite clearly and honestly, a nation of consumers. Whereas the world turned to America for innovation and industry and everything else in the heyday, right? The 50s, 60s, and what have you.
Yep.
The good old days. I think the guy means when he talks about making America great again, I'm pretty sure he means like the 1950s.
Really booming industry, things like
And we're
that, right?
producing the thing. Everything was made here, like, factory jobs, blue collar stuff. We're, American blood and sweat, into the product. But now
Yeah,
we're
big
just,
time,
we
big
sit
time.
back fat and happy on our cell phones and order the shit from China.
Mm.
You are not the alpha in that situation.
Well, industry is.
You're an
now, right?
addict.
Yeah,
China-
to
okay.
the stuff, to the goods, to the things, to this.
To put it that way, you are the user.
This-
China is the dealer.
Gotta have it.
Okay, you can't walk around with your gangsta when you're the user, not the dealer.
It's true. And I often say that we're not going to win another world war because we can't manufacture our way to a win. We don't have the factories. We don't have the machines. We can't produce the stuff. And it takes years, if not decades, to get that stuff up and rolling. And we don't have the cohesiveness in the country amongst the people to be able to pull that off, where you had people turning in all of their scrap metal to assist in the war effort because they needed metal or they needed lead or they needed whatever they needed. The people would help provide it for them. That you would go out and rip things out of the garage and take them to the town and give them away because we got to win the war.
Right.
That's not going to happen anymore. That's not going to happen.
No.
Most people are going to be like, nah, screw you, bro. There's a war going on. I'm keeping all of this. This is mine. You can't have it. And there's no sense of country. There's just the individual, right? So everybody's going to go for self and screw you, and it falls apart. And we don't even have the factories to make that shit anymore anyway, right?
There's a lot, there is something to be said for what some people call the decay of Western society.
Yeah.
It's a question of, it's weak men creating hard times.
Yeah.
Because good times created weak men. Because strong men created good times. And it's if there is one light at the end of the tunnel, it's that these hard times will create good men.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, you know, I said something to you yesterday and again today that if you don't consider yourself poor right now,
You will.
it's coming. It's coming. I really feel that, you know, the price of things in general, a home, a car, start a business, things like that, it's starting to get pushed out of reach for most people.
What the fuck is that person talking about?
What's that?
I'm sure what the hell is she talking about?
I don't know.
Who got to grow up? Not me. I don't want to grow up. I'm
Yeah.
a Toys R Us kid, okay?
They told me I didn't
Take it
have
to
to.
the bank. I remember that giraffe. What was his name?
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right. Jeffrey.
Yep. See?
Jeffrey the giraffe.
Some shit
Right.
just never leaves you. Yeah.
POTB, you are not the weak man creating a hard time. You are one of the folks who shouts to the winds, get your shit in order, prep, train, repeat, do your things. You are one of the watchmen, we'll call it, right? The watchman. I know the watchman himself would appreciate that comment.
Does this oat milk have soy in it? You know, funny thing is actually because people make fun of people that drink that shit, and why it's always it's not. They make fun of them for the wrong reason.
Okay.
They're like, hey, you're a femboy. You're being feminized. by
Girly
the
man.
soy
Girly man.
and the milk. And here's what's funny about it is actually you should be making fun of them. It's just it tastes like crap. Humans are one of the only creatures on the planet that drink milk like past like infancy.
Yeah. No other mammal does that.
For my lactose intolerant folks in the chat, actually, you're normal. You're not supposed to be able to stomach it. That's gross. Like, can you think about what you're doing when you're drinking that glass of milk? Okay, that's not thing for adults to do. Nothing else in nature really does that. But we do. And then they're like, oh, you're lactose intolerant. You can't even drink that. It's like, no, you're not even supposed to fucking be able to. Like, you're the mutant here. What is this chick's problem?
Oh, Mad Shad says the fall of this country will be the rise of us Americans. I believe that, man. The hard workers, the backbone of the country, they used to call it. A lot of those folks are old and broken, you know, the old backbone of the country. And it's going to take hard workers, determined people with a I'm never going to quit attitude to
Where's that?
do it done. There's a handful of us.
I refer to, in the trades out here, I refer to guys our age as like the young guys.
Unfortunately, that's not the case anymore.
Well, because you got the old guys who taught us, brought us
Yeah,
up.
but they're done.
They're retiring,
They're
dying,
done.
they're doing the thing. It's left to us now.
Yeah, we
But
got to
then-
carry the torch, man.
Then we look to see what we got. Well, like, I'm looking for somebody like myself when I was 18, 20 years old. Fucking
Hard worker. Yeah, they're hard to find. Hard to
worker
find.
is what I was going to say. Yeah, lots of piss and vinegar on. Come out, get the job. Hard. There ain't that. You're not going to find some kid who's like, I'm going to come and do. I want to go places in this. I'm motivated. There is just none of that. It's not really that. And you know what? It's not that nobody wants to work anymore. It's that nobody wants to be exploited anymore. And it's seeming as though
Totally could be. Could be.
there is a trend in that the people who make it happen are sidelined for the people who put their names on it.
Right.
And this is not new. Like I was talking about in the garage earlier. You know, everybody's Pharaoh built the pyramids. Pharaoh ain't even touched the shit until he was dead.
True.
20,000
it's the people
poor
that did
ass
this.
laborers built it.
Yes, it's the people that did this.
And so in the context of this conversation, yeah, we the people, and I mean practically all of us, have to say hell no to the thing and mean it.
Yeah.
If you don't do that, they will continue to divide us into parts, put us in boxes, call us things, and make us fight each other.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Hands down. I cannot deny that whatsoever.
This headline was my favorite of them all.
Yeah, this one.
I was like, when's this going
This
on?
one's a good one. Alpine Preparedness. Welcome to We All Gonna Die Wednesday. Moldy Soldier. I'm gonna tell you. So, religion is something that's being trampled right? It's being drugged through the mud. Sometimes by itself, by the priests and things like that. And other times by other folks who just say, religion's religion. You know, they don't believe, they don't, whatever, atheist, whatever. But then you have the people who believe in the opposite of the good religion, which would be the bad religion, right? I'm not talking about the rock band. We're talking about Satanists.
Talk about bad religion like
the
that.
Satanists, right?
Not them again.
Yeah. So,
ladies and gentlemen,
this coming weekend,
nothing is off the table in
this
2023.
coming weekend, the Satanists are taking over Boston, Massachusetts.
And you
Godspeed.
This
in
isn't.
Boston.
This is not some BS.
Yeah, the
I hit the wrong
Hellraisers.
button, and so here's the real one.
The Hellraisers, aka the Satanists. It will be the largest satanic gathering in history this weekend. And the city had a devil of a time keeping the group away. Couldn't do it.
It's they will go ahead and they'll play that religious freedom card.
Travis, welcome, my friend. Welcome. StrategicETC.com. Travis Medic in the house. In the house. Lucky Dame Preparedness. Welcome, 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 sister.
Shameless bump. If you or your workplace perhaps need to be brought into compliance as per the CPR AED first responder training,
StrategicETC.com.
that guy right there, one name, short, nice, easy results. Travis, hit him up.
Travis Medic.
It's his jam.
That's right.
Strategic ETC. Check
right.
him out if you need that service, because that's what they do all day. every day.
Even if you're just an individual,
They'll come to you.
well, he'll come to you. You can go to him. If you're in or around northern New York State, go see Travis Medic. If you need any medical training, if you need medical gear, if you need anything medical related, talk to him. Talk to him. Travis Medic, StrategicETC.com. Great guy, great company, always looking to help everybody out. Vision Preparedness, my man. Thank you so much. Travis is the guy. Loves to help people out. Even these assholes we were talking about, the Satan worshipers drinking the Kool-Aid. Yeah, those guys. He even helps them. Anybody, because that's the type of dude he is.
The event's theme is Hexenacht in Brooklyn, which means Witches' Night. I knew that because I speak a schmattering.
Oh, in Boston.
Deutsche. Marks the
Boston.
pagan springtime holiday of May Eve with a weekend of blasphemy and remembrance, organizers said.
There you go.
The Salem, Massachusetts-based devil worshippers will also hold discussions on reclaiming the trans body. Oh, God, here we went here. I should have read this first. Deconstructing your religious upbringing and Satanism and the bi-POC experience, which if you're new here, that means, I believe, for the love of cancellation, please let me get this right. I believe it means like bisexual persons of color experience. The group says it worships Satan not as an evil beast from hell, but rather a symbol of the importance of questioning authority and separating church from state. Now, can we all just take a second and listen to that sentence again? Importance of questioning authority and separating church from state. Not giving them a leg of stand on here, but I'm saying that they might have just pulled out a peg leg there. A city spokesman said that the mayor does not decide who gives invocations at City Hall. These folks are mad because they wanted to give a satanic invocation of the new mayor.
Yeah, this is, what do they call it? Satan Con is the whole thing.
Pretty much. This is a bunch of LARPers acting like vampires. This is like Twilight, the Gathering. The gay inning.
Let's see. High Flyer wants to know, what time is the Bug Out Bag weekend wrapping up on Sunday?
When we were a little too wet to stand anymore, it sounds like.
Sunday mornings, we usually get up, have some breakfast, shoot the shit, have some coffee, and then most folks are packing up and going on about their day. So I would say probably about 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock in the afternoon. Most people are packed up and out of there by then. I am, however, there for the duration. Till after the last person leaves, I'm the last man out. And then I have to go back and clean up everything. So it's fun stuff.
Behind the scenes, you know?
Yeah,
stuff
lots
you
of
don't
it.
get
We've been at it. Livingston, man, thank you so much for all your help with the event and everything. We've been out there hacking, slashing, and putting things up and doing things.
Pulling trees down with our truck.
Yeah, you'll have that. You'll have
dangerous,
that. Well, he said, I'm impatient. I'm impatient. Yes, I am impatient. Let's see. POTB says the church and state can separate. Families keep faith in the family, not the state. Amen to that, my brother.
Can I make a shit hot like blanket statement?
Let her rip.
If you are not in favor of a separation of church and state, then you are in favor of what's called a theocracy. You are in favor of eventually like a Spanish Inquisition, medieval church system where we burn witches and blame Jews and do every other horrible thing. We've tried this already, guys. It's why one person said that the separation of church and state is not in the Constitution. I'm not going to say that it's not because I didn't read the whole damn Constitution. But such pillars of our nation are built on this concept that they'll take the 10 Commandments out of schools and stuff because of this. And I don't understand how it's not in there. Okay, thank you, Pagan Prepper.
Yep, first
because I thought I was like, wait, I'm pretty sure that that's BS, but okay, let's give them the benefit of the doubt. I'm not like shitting on religion here. Like people have beliefs and they need to be respected.
Sure, absolutely.
But I wonder, as with anything, is how much of what you believe needs to be directly forced onto me.
That's just it. You're free. You're free to practice your religion.
Context.
And anybody who wants to practice with you can go with you. It doesn't mean that you can try recruiting, right? But you're not out there bashing everybody else. You're just free to practice what you want to do. Let's see. That's not the same thing. You are referring to an official state religion. Gotcha.
If you were to probably check like multiple sources, you would find that what is known as Christianity is the official like state religion of the United States.
Yeah. Well, I guess that was the
Roman Catholicism
the founding,
or what have you.
I heard it said that our nation was founded, everything was designed for a God-fearing people. The Constitution, everything along with it was all designed for God-fearing people, people who had fear of a higher power, and those words meant something. And now that we're in this instant gratification society and everybody wants what's theirs, and religion has become obscured and twisted into all these different things, that it's going to be awful hard for us to find our way back with the framework that we currently have. So it is possible that the Constitution needs to be rewritten for modern times. But based
that's
off
anathema
of those things,
to some people.
Why
don't you rewrite the Bible for modern times?
Modernize. They did. The Bible has changed every time it's rewritten.
Wait,
right?
Well, I thought it was infallible. I thought that was the word of God.
No, because every time they translate it, words change because the translation is often different from one language to another. So the original words that were spoken are so obscured into modern language that they could be completely taken out of context, right?
I broke shit behind me. So you mean to tell me that like the so-called like church, they got together and just decided what the Bible should say?
Well, they've excluded books. They've found more books, and those don't.
Why'd they exclude some books? Isn't it God's word?
Well, yeah.
Who are they to say we shouldn't let people have that?
I don't know.
Maybe there was some agenda there.
Could be. Maybe that's why they're all stinking rich.
You know, if the government did that with the documents, y'all be raising holy hell. Vatican doesn't, you're like, that's God's word. That's not God's word. Come to find out. Thanks for schooling me to that, Mike. I didn't know they could do that.
Grateful Prep says the Constitution does not need to be rewritten. It needs to be understood and followed by us. I agree with that statement, but I was more talking about how the religion and how the Constitution was based off the religion.
I'm telling you, I know a bot when I see one, and I think I see one.
He's got his bot vision on.
Takes one to know one.
But I don't
See?
without a God-fearing people, the Constitution doesn't mean as much to them. Right.
And it was indeed written with this in mind. Like, at the end of the day, okay, it says that Congress will not make a law respecting a religion. That's not the same way we use the word respect. You could possibly read that as like Congress will not make a law that like shows love to religion. But
right, or restricts another.
Right. In this case, respect means like in the context of like Congress shall not make laws regarding religion.
Yeah.
Is what they mean by the word respect here. And they fucking do all the time. And go ahead and yell at me about how like separation of church and state is either not or in the Constitution, and then show me how especially the conservative wing of government tends to lean on it very hard, not least of which heavy shit inbound now. Anti-LGBT and abortion legislation is literally just rooted in the Bible.
Sure.
Whether it's sound science or whatever it is not the question here, but it is that government representatives are indeed using religion and making laws respecting it. In the definition of respect, it's in regard to it. This book said you have to do this, so this law says that you all have to do this.
Yeah.
Now, everybody chime in with how that's not government overreach.
Hey man, I'm a freedom-loving dude. You're free to do whatever you want to do. Just leave me the hell alone. That's my thing. I'm one of those people who just want it to be left alone.
There's a big difference. There's between people who this is everybody's problem with every cause and everything. Yeah. Stop ramming it down my throat, bro. Well, then be careful what you may or may not ram down someone else's throat then.
Ooh, Pagan Prepper says, yes, they do, but in speech only. They cannot make any laws on either or.
See how the suspected bot silenced itself? It knew I was onto it.
No, that was our main man in the poll tonight. 125 took care of the bot problem.
So he saw it too.
Yeah.
I didn't even say it.
Yeah.
Good job, Hunter. Thank you.
Rapture Ready says, religion is division. God has a relationship through his word to the brethren. I agree with that. I think a lot of people can be spiritual and not be religious.
That's what for all my rhetoric here, I actually consider myself that. I think that the thing we're all talking about is the same thing, and we all just call it something different.
I agree. POTB says, hell yeah, live and let live as long as your life ain't pushing down others' way of life. That's the way to be, man. That's the way to be. Live your life, bro. Live your life. Do your thing. Whatever it is.
Yeah, but Eric, see, the thing is the government didn't bother to read that. They're like, that sign can't stop me. I can't read.
The Constitution gets trampled on a daily basis. All laws, any law that is repugnant to the Constitution is null and void. That was a Supreme Court decision that was done,
It
right?
relies on compliance.
Correct. So, and only Congress can pass law, right? Yet the ATF makes laws all the time. All these different people
They're not even
make laws all the time.
allowed to.
Yeah.
The ATF is an enforcement body, not a legislative body. They are meant to be told what to do by a second branch, a separation of power. Once the police, in this case ATF, decide what is the law, that is literally a police state. That is literally tyrannical. That is totalitarian.
Yeah,
that
man.
used to be Tuesday.
Hey, the crazier things get, we might have to bring the totalitarian Tuesday back. Just saying.
I'm finna
Just
go.
saying.
I'm so fed up. I'm fitting to do a live by myself again. You guys remember that?
You know what? It gets the Constitution is the government's toilet paper anymore, and they will find any way they can to trample it. And until the people push back, then they'll stop for a second. But they've already trampled, and their footsteps are all over, and ain't no erasing them. even though they might have backed off that amendment, whichever one they're after at the time, whether it be the first, the second, the fourth, all of these different things, right? You have no right to privacy. You have no freedom of speech. That's actually in the Supreme Court right now, whether these Facebook and Twitter and things like that can censor your speech.
It's a death by 1,000 cuts. It's a question. What the large print giveth, the Bill of Rights. You have a right to not be illegally searched and seized. When you hit the I agree to the terms and conditions on Facebook, you fucking waive your first and second, third, fourth, and all the rights. And it's that easy. They're like, we're going to violate your rights, but you don't. You
agreed to it.
You want to use the app. You have to give up. You waive your rights to use the app, and we do all day long. Yeah. It is not that hard for them. This massive, heavy power structure is there.
That's right.
If you're the person that thinks of in terms of a swamp, it is. You can cycle out elected officials all you want.
Yeah, but you're still cycling them into the corrupt swamp that
which
is.
is the bureaucracy. It's those fucking silent government bureaucratrats who work in an office.
Special interest groups.
And special interest lobbies and groups. But it's not the elected officials per se.
No.
It is this.
They should
the
wear
foundation
patches
of
like
the whole
fucking NASCAR, so you can tell who you're really voting for.
The people in power are like the curtains in the window.
They all wear a Pfizer patch. That's the big one on the chest, right? They're all Team Pfizer, and then they just get all the little sub-sponsors on them.
It should be made to show their sponsors in public, like NASCAR does. That would be cool.
Michelle the Great, what's happening, sister? How are you? Welcome to We All Gonna Die Wednesday.
But I'm telling you, we're not particularly describing some fantasy land. We have, for the most part, been describing a realistic American experience. This is our reality, folks.
This is where we are now.
We have law enforcement who can dictate the law. They decide what's legal. It was never supposed to be this way. If we're worried about what the Constitution and what the Founding Fathers thought, none of this is what they thought. And they were like, no, not that. And maybe I'll just put on a tinfoil hat and call it a conspiracy theory, but someone is using all the dystopian tropes as an instruction
a guidebook, right? This is like 1984 meets Fahrenheit 451 meets Tron meets fucking some weird ass shit, man.
It's all there. Life is
CERN sucked us into another fucking dimension, and this is where we are. This is like the fifth dimension of fucking bullshit. We need a fuck off Friday. Eric, you shall have it, my friend. This Friday night, we're going to go live.
Ladies and gentlemen, with 2 minutes left.
From the woods.
With 2 minutes left.
From the woods.
At the end of the scene here, it has narrowed. But ladies and gentlemen, we're just going to go one more time. If you haven't voted yet.
If you have not voted in the poll.
Hunter 25.
On the left.
Is underneath me.
That's right. Outlaw Jackson on the right.
There is no other symbolism to be taken from this except for we're just trying to orient you as to who are you voting for.
The more handsome individual.
They asked that. Well, actually, Hunter asked this question.
Yeah. He brought this upon himself in the Facebook group.
So we needed to know, and we're going to spend our last minutes with you on this. And I can't. I didn't vote. I was honest with y'all. Nor did he, as far as I know.
We abstained from voting. And did not skew it whatsoever.
At exactly 8:30, I'm going to tell you who I would have voted for.
Oh.
But I'm still not going to vote. We're going to see
Lucky
who wins
Dame,
here.
no, it is not the same person. Vision Preparedness says the guy in the boat for the win.
Lucky Dame, that's really funny because I was as we put this
they're
up,
brothers. They're brothers.
I was actually wishing that somehow they were both the same guy, but they're definitely not.
Mad Chad, they do look the same. They look like they're Negan or Shades. There you go. Negan or Shades. Time for the pity vote, says Outlaw Jackson.
So we pull out all the stops. You guys got to do the right thing, save our democracy.
Grateful Prep says, I see two great patriots. Amen, sister. Amen. They are both great guys, and I'm lucky to know both of them.
Can only vote for one.
That's right. But your vote matters here tonight. I promise you that the truckload of ballots is not coming in. It's 8:30. We got to know. We got to know.
Well,
Poll is closed.
Poll is closed. Shut it off.
Poll is closed.
Poll is closed, and you know.
You did it. You did it. There it is. There it is.
Jackson crushed this.
67 votes.
A full
in the poll.
2/3 of the vote, you guys, with 1% margin of error, apparently. The first time I met Hunter, he didn't have that like fucking goatee that he's got there.
No.
So when I seen this picture, I was like, oh boy, he handsome though. Whereas Jackson, though Jackson is indeed handsome, he's kind of just looked like that for a long time. Nothing new here for me. But
nothing new here.
But like if I hadn't seen Hunter and I hadn't in a minute, I would have been like, oh, what's up, baby boy? How you doing? So my vote would have went with Hunter, but that was as with anything, it's a very personal thing. I mean, considering the question itself.
Outlaw says, I can't believe he got 1/3 of the vote.
If I had entered you would have both lost, but we can all take something home from this. I don't know.
Yeah.
And maybe it was, I don't know what did it for Jackson. I think we should try this same poll and just switch them over and like.
Yeah, we'll put Outlaw in the car and Hunter on the island.
Yeah, well, no, because I honestly think that most of y'all just voted for Jackson because you thought he was somehow affiliated with Mike or because it said right.
Oh, so he thinks he skewed it with the whole
I think there's a little
paradigm. Oh, he did you dirty, Hunter. He put you on the left.
What do you mean Livingston man needs glasses? What the fuck are these?
Vision says it's rigged. Look at the bag of votes on the other boat.
That's what that guy in the green shirt was blowing.
That's great.
I think y'all just voted for him because he's.
Hey, mad love to everybody, man. And hey, if you guys are coming out to the Bug Out Bag weekend this weekend, make sure you bring your bug spray. Make sure you bring your raincoat. Make sure you bring your shelter, your food, everything.
It's going to be wet.
Sustain yourself. It's
with no perceivable way to dry yourself.
Yeah. You could tap out and go home, or you can spend the night in the woods in the rain. Really test your gear. Because we all know, if it ain't raining, you ain't training. So bring your gear and prepare to get wet. Dry sacks are important, Livingston, man.
A Ziploc bag, especially those freezer ones, like maybe they get the triple locks on them, like whatever to keep your stuff dry, you're gonna need it. If not the rain itself, the humidity, it sogs at everything. This weekend, if the weather works out the way they say, is going to be straight up unpleasant.
Yep. But we're gonna do it. We're gonna do it anyway.
And we're gonna do it together.
That's right.
We're gonna hold each other's hands and we're gonna get through it.
Yes.
Thank you for voting in our poll.
Thank you for joining us here tonight on the We All Gonna Die Wednesday.
So next week, what we're going to do is we need a new candidate. Jackson is the reigning champion. We need a new candidate. Who's better looking? Jay Creature. Where's his funky ass?
Oh, man.
I nominate Jay Creature to challenge Jackson for best looking prepper in survival.
Hunter says wet t-shirt contest. That's right. This weekend, you can get hypothermia in the woods with me.
Maybe you can redeem yourself in this abysmal showing in the electorate, Hunter. I voted for you, man.
Marco says extra socks keep your feet dry. That's right. And if you're wearing a poncho, think about the Gore-Tex pants and waterproof boots, because everything from like the knees down gets soaked and then osmosis takes over and it wicks up and it sucks. So just
you're soaking wet from the knees down if you got a poncho. Ladies and gentlemen, we'll see you at the Bug Out weekend. If you're coming, that's right.
I'll be there.
Saturday
and Sunday.
This weekend.
That's right.
Love you all. Thank you for coming in.
Thanks for joining us.
Thank you for voting.
And we will see y'all, Friday night. I'm going to rip a live right from the event location. Rain or shine, I'll be live Friday night. So we will see y'all then. Y'all have a great night. Stay safe and safe travels, folks. Hudson Valley Prepping Survival, we out of here.